Okay, I'd like to improve the application that I've got. One thing that this application does, if we let's go to look at Afghanistan, and if I click on Asia here, you can see I've got a path that shows me all the countries in Asia. So I've got this path continent Asia, and if we look here at the route that goes continent Asia, it takes in a continent, the name of that continent, and this is a filter. So it lists only those countries where the continent name matches the parameter that was passed in. So we pass in Asia as a parameter, and and we can see so A gets passed into the root here, and it gets passed in as this variable A, and this thing here is a filter. So basically it goes through the list of all countries in the world, and if the continent equals Asia, then it gets kept. And that list CL gets passed into the continent template to show me a list of all the countries in that continent. Now we can do something very similar. I want to make up a route that says starts with, so that I can get all the countries starting with A, for example, or all the countries starting with B. I'm gonna well, let me show you what I want to happen. I want to be able to do something very much like that. So I want to have a route something like starting with, and then if I pass in a letter D, I want that to give me all the countries starting with D. Let's have a go at that. So if I copy that route and paste it in, so this is going to be starting with, what did I call it? Starting with, yes. Starting with, and then some letter, let's call it A, let's keep with that, and this is first letter page. Okay, so this test is no good. It's not that I want to find all the C's where C in where the consonant equals that. What I'm interested in is that the name of the country has first letter A, and the first letter is 0. So that should do pretty much what I want. I'm going to reuse the consonant template for the moment, even though that won't look quite right. Let's save that, and the server should automatically restart. It looks like it did. I can reload this, and there, that's given me all the countries starting with D, all the countries starting with E, all the countries starting with F. That seems to work well, and Z, and just check that it's okay. I'm pretty sure there are no countries starting with X. That gives me a list of 0. This message isn't quite right. There are countries in X. I really need a new template for that, because the letter X is up there. Let's look at D again. Yeah, so I guess it's mostly okay, but it would be better if this was using a different template. There's only one starting with Y, I think. Just check that works. Good. There are 1 countries in. It should be there's 1 country, and that should be starting with Y, not in Y. But that's basically what I want. If I change this template continent, if I use a different continent, then I could fix the grammar there. Okay, so that's nice. To actually use this, well, I could go in and I could just change the template a little bit. Where are we? So if I open the index, ugh, can't be bothered navigating through that again. So I want /users /Andrew world. There it is. So in templates, so there's my index template. So I could have it going across the top, for example. So for the index page here, I could have going across the top above the H1, I could have a list of letters. What I'm thinking of is something like here saying a href equals, was it starting with A should be starting with A and then A, and let me put that in a div. And close the div. Okay, and then I could just copy this. Copy 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to need 26 of those, or at least 23, but I can't be bothered doing that right now. Something like that. Oh, no, change these as well. So that's B, and that's C, and that's D, and that's E. Whoops. Just save that. When I reload, you can see I've got the list of the alphabet up here, so I can click on C, or I can click on B. That's the sort of thing I had in mind. But of course that has to be extended out. Well, that kind of works. I really don't want to write all 26 out by hand, and I don't like that it is reusing the content template for that. But we can do this kind of this thing here. Let me just expand that. Let's go in and import JSON and also get that list in. So these two lines here, copy and paste that there. I'm going to show you the sort of thing that's happening. If I start off with a list of countries beginning with, if I start that out as empty, I can say for C in W, if, okay, so the condition I'm interested in is C name 0 equals A. That should give me all of the countries starting with A. So I've got a country starting with A. What I want to do is cbw.append C. Okay, and now let's take a look at what CBW is. CBW is, well, the last country here is Azerbaijan. That was Austria, there's Azerbaijan, and there's Austria, and the first one should be Algeria, and there's Afghanistan. So CBW is that list of countries. How many? Then countries beginning with 11 countries beginning with A. So that's so this bit of code here that says start your list out at empty, run through every country in the list. If the first character of the name equals A, then add it to the list, otherwise don't. And by the time that loop is completed, CBW will have a list of all countries beginning with A. And we do that shorter. The quick way of saying that is C for C in W, if CNAME 0 equals A. So that is the list comprehension. It's the constructive way of creating that list. But you do it on one line, and you can see it's pretty straightforward to get shorter lists if you need them. So that, I'm trying to remember what it's called. Is it list comprehension? List. Okay. The other issue is that I don't like having to put this list in here, having to write that list out. For one thing, I want this to reflect the number of countries that are actually there. If I hard code this and then someone deletes 3 countries starting with D, then I should have D disappearing from this list. So how do I generate a list of letters? Well, one way to do that, I can use list comprehension again. So I can say, so there's my list comprehension. If I say what I want out of this is CNAME 0, and I'll do this for all countries C. This should give me a list of the first letter of every country in the world. Okay, and you can see A crops up loads of times, B crops up loads of times, C crops up loads of times. W isn't cropping up at all. You can see U, V, there's no W, there's Y. So there's no W and there's no X. Alright, that's fine, but I've got repeats in it. I can remove the repeats, I think, just by turning that into a set. Does that work? Yes. Okay, so if I do set, then there's no items in it. I want to turn that back into a list. I'm wondering if this will work. Okay, that seems to be good. So I've taken my my list with repeats in, I turn it into a set, and in set you don't have repeats, so that gets rid of the repeats. Then I turn it back into a list. The trouble is now it is no longer ordered. Can you see it goes A, C, B? Don't like that at all. So I've lost the ordering, which is unfortunate. I don't know if I can do sorted like that. No, maybe sort. Okay, but it didn't give me an output. Perhaps I can say sorted. Oh, so do up arrow and sorted as a function. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, so sorted list set of that. So this gives me a list of all the letters in the alphabet. Now I only need to do that once, so I can do that at load time. So here, if I copy that, I can say in my server, I load W in and I process it. I could give myself a list, letters of the alphabet equals, paste that in. And now I could pass into my index page. This is the index page here. I could pass in a parameter, letters of the alphabet equals letters of the alphabet. Okay, and in index now, perhaps I can say letters of the alphabet. Let's save that and see what that looks like. So now if I reload, okay, that didn't work so well. So letters of the alphabet. Letters of the alphabet, letters of the alphabet. Doesn't seem to have been picking it up. I wonder if that change came through. I changed index, but I didn't change the server. So maybe it needs a hard reload. Nope, still not coming through. Let me try and stop the server and start it again. Reload. Hard reload. Still not coming through. I wonder if I'm really updating the right template. Letters. Let's see if that shows up. Okay, letters is showing up, but it looks like this list is empty. Letter of the alphabet is sorted, list set name. That all looks good, but somehow this value, letters of the alphabet, is not getting passed in here. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to try piping this through length to see if the list is coming through as an empty list. Reload. Yeah, looks like letters of the alphabet is coming through as an empty list. I wonder why. Just to debug, let me try printing that here. So print letters of the alphabet. Save that. Okay. I should have printed out here the letters of the alphabet. Reload. I'm not seeing that print message coming up. Okay, still not understanding what's going on. I'm going to try stopping the server and restarting it. That print statement just didn't seem to work. Okay, now I get it printed. try again. So we run it. I reload this. Okay, there. Okay, now it seems to be working. Okay, I think there must be something in the cache. I still can't see where it's printing out the print message that I asked for, but it seems to be working now. Take that pipe out, save again, and reload. Okay, I'm getting the letters. Okay, so my letters are coming up now, but that's not the right thing to do. I'm going to need some kind of a for loop to make that work. But I can pick every letter of the alphabet out, and I'm sure you can figure out how you can turn this list using our for loop, as we did here. So this kind of for loop, you can run over the list letters of the alphabet in the same kind of way.